Hey, it's me. So, this path that we're all on, it's not just a personal path, it's a universal one. It never really ends. At every stage we reach, there are obstacles to notice, fears to face, and choices that open or close the next step. We can't escape that. And yet, every time we commit to meeting what's real, the path moves forward. We move forward. One of the biggest fears we carry, often hidden, sometimes right on the surface, is the fear of death. Even if we don't think about it, it lingers. Sometimes it shows up as hesitation or resistance to change. Sometimes it hides behind guilt or self-criticism. Even when we've touched deep moments of knowing, even when we felt the presence of something eternal, the fear can still come back. It takes time for that knowing to fill every part of us. But let's pause here. What is life really? Life is life. It cannot suddenly stop being itself. When we assume that life can simply turn into non-life, we're caught in a kind of illusion. From a deeper view, opposites like life and death aren't really opposites at all. They're different ways of experiencing the same oneness. If there is only life, then death, as we imagine it, must be an illusion. Here's where the confusion comes in. Most of us identify with our body and with the outer form of who we are. But these forms are temporary. They're like matter infused with a spark. And that spark, what animates, what chooses, what feels, what creates, cannot be extinguished. It is life itself. Even now, in all our imperfections, we are part of that eternal source. We can never not be. Still, we resist this truth. The fear of death makes us cling to what's known. It tells us not to move, not to change, because change feels like it might speed up loss. But that's an inversion. Life is movement. Life is change. To stay stagnant is actually closer to what we fear. Growth and change are the only way we come into alignment with what we really are. And this ties directly into how we approach ourselves. One of the hardest confusions to face is around self-acceptance. Many of us swing between extremes. On one side, we excuse or deny what's destructive in us. On the other, we attack ourselves with guilt and self-hate. Neither way allows for growth. Real self-acceptance means seeing the darker parts of ourselves clearly, without justifying them, and without turning that clarity into punishment. That balance is what makes real change possible. But when the fear of death is alive in us, that balance is hard to hold. We either withhold forgiveness, as if extinction is the punishment we deserve, or we slip into avoidance, trying to cover over what hurts. Both are distortions of what's actually needed: honesty and compassion together. So the practice becomes this: to keep moving, to keep choosing growth, while holding both honesty and mercy toward ourselves. To see the lower self without hate and without excuses. To face it with the same love we would offer anyone else struggling to remember who they are. That's when change begins to feel safe. That's when we realize that the more we transform, the more we become ourselves. Everything that exists carries the spark of life. Even the cells in a body after death, even the smallest particles of matter hold that seed. And the same is true for our thoughts. Every thought carries weight. Repeated patterns of self-hate, fear, or hopelessness create invisible forms that keep us circling in suffering. But when we choose differently, even one small shift at a time, we create new patterns, new forms, new ways of being. So I'll leave you with this. Pay attention to the thoughts you give energy to. Notice the patterns you run on without even thinking. They shape the world you live in. Take a little distance from them. Watch them. Question them. And when you can, choose another thought. One that carries life instead of fear. Do this again and again. Not perfectly, but with sincerity. Over time, the fear will loosen, and you'll start to feel what's always been true. You cannot not be. You cannot not be. Life is life, and you are part of it forever. Love you. Connect soon.